Welcome back to Fly Tying Fridays. This episode I'm going to show you a way of tying a glowbug egg pattern. I will be using a size 12 wide gap jig hook. This can be made as small as you can tie it. Just play around and find out. Commonly they're size 10 to 16 scud hook, wide gap jig hook. They both work really well. Go ahead and whatever you have, put it on. This pattern is going to be made of just a little bit of this glowbug yarn. I'll have the UV bead up here. I found that the UV beads really do increase getting strikes. And I'll be using just some standard red tying thread. Any thread color really will work, but try and somewhat match the egg color you're going to use. And as you learn, try all kinds of blends of colors and figure out what works for you. Well, let's start tying, and I encourage you to tie yours while I walk you through it. As I say, I am no professional, but hopefully that will make it easier to follow and learn a skill every fly fisherman should at least try. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get our thread started up here. A couple wraps forward, a couple wraps back, just locks your thread in place. Snip off that little excess you have. Give it a couple more little tight wraps. Make sure you lock that bead up top. And then just leave it right in the middle of those thread wraps. And don't worry about how pretty it is. We're going to cover that with yarn. Alright, I'm going to cut off about 1 inch of this peachy keen glowbug yarn. We're just going to take that piece and lay it right along the back. Give it a nice good tight wrap. 2 tight wraps. Pull that front back. Give yourself a wrap around the bead. Pull the back forward, and now you're going to go diagonal and get right in between there and do right over there. And now we're going to come back and wrap all the way around, almost parachute style. So all of this yarn is going to come up, and we're just going to go around the base of that yarn just to make it nice and tight. And then we'll go right back to wrapping our bead head. Go ahead and leave your slack. Then we're going to take our whip finishing tool. Get us a nice triangle there so your whip finish will work. A good wrap. Make sure you have your triangle. And then do 5 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And go ahead and lock that down. Go ahead and cut your thread right at that base, real nice and close. At this point, it's going to look a little crazy. You're just going to pull this yarn up, take your scissors, and kind of shape as you cut. So you want to make a nice round top. And then just spread that out and spread it down. Spread it around that bead and around that hook. And you've got a beaded salmon egg. If you have learned something new or just enjoyed this video, please subscribe down below. If you've enjoyed this video or learned something new, please subscribe down below. I will have a new walkthrough for a different fly every Friday, starting with some more of these basic patterns to help learn the different techniques that will come all together on more difficult flies. If you have enjoyed this video or learned something new, please subscribe down below. I will have a walkthrough for a different fly every Friday, starting with some basic patterns to help learn different techniques that will all come together in more difficult flies down the road. Thank you again for watching. Comment down below if you can guess what we're tying next week. Here's a hint. The fly I am tying at the end of this video is the fly we will be tying in the coming week. Can you find out what it is?